Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Welcome to another edition of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we've got another interview edition. This time around, we have one of the co-founders of what I'd say is one of the most creative and interesting functional brands in the world right now, and that is we have Wayne from the Skinny Food Co. Welcome.
Hi Shane, how you doing?
Good, thanks for having you on. I've actually talked about the Skinny Food Co. a mountain of times on. We do like a weekly catch up podcast where I just sort of go over the exciting stories from the site. And we're primarily a sports nutrition supplement website sharing news on things like protein powders. But over the past few years, we've kind of branched into the functional space, which is how we stumbled across you guys. I think we came across the Skinny Food Co. through Protein Pick and Mix, I believe. Those guys are great because we frequently visit, well, not this year, but we frequently visit the UK every year. We're there for about 4 or 5 months. We came across the brand, and I just remember someone saying, you guys should check them out. They do a lot of stuff, do a lot of cool things. And then I just followed you for, had to have been like a few weeks. And it was just, I was like, how have I not come across these guys before? So obviously I stumbled across you last year, but how long has the Skinny Food Co. been running, or, whereabouts did you guys start?
Yeah, so we incorporated in April 2018.
Okay, so it didn't actually come along too late.
No, yeah, so we literally just kind of benched the 2-year mark. So previous to this, we'd probably been working on the brand for around a year beforehand, just basically working on all the formulas, the trademarking, and actually working on the branding behind closed doors. So we was ready to kind of roll the April 2018.
Oh wow! So you guys, what were the first few products you came out with? Because the ones I know you for, obviously the Skinny Syrup, Skinny Sauce. You've got the Duo Spread now. There's a whole bunch of others in the mix. But what was the original lineup you had?
Yeah, we originally launched with 6 products. So we launched with the sauces. So we had the tomato ketchup, the barbecue, and the garlic mayo.
Yeah.
And then we had the salted caramel, the maple, and the golden syrup. So there was like our bench.
Okay. So the sauces and syrups have been there from the start.
Yeah, always. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was always about launching with these products because in our house anyway, we go through lots of maple syrup on our pancakes and chocolates. So,
as with most. Obviously you have a mountain of flavors now compared to when you started. It seems to be ever expanding. Now there are a lot of like functional brands that do the lower calorie sauces and syrups, but a lot of the time they stop at like 5 flavors, 6 flavors, and they sort of just keep with them, kind of expand to other products. Was the fact that you wanted to grow into 300 flavors? Was that a goal you had from the start for Skinny Syrup, or was it just fans like demanding more and stuff like that?
Because we are using these products throughout our house, and both myself and James, we were originally founded the company on products that could be used or replaced currently high sugared and high calorie foods, along with cutting out as many allergens as possible. So, for example, we wanted to bring to market a peanut butter syrup without no allergens whatsoever. So the peanut lovers out there could enjoy their peanut butter taste, but without the allergens. Both my children are autistic, so we wanted to really make sure that they control their sugars and their allergens as well. So both myself and James, we've both got young children. Like I said, both of mine are on the spectrum. So it was a really kind of important project to bring to market. Not just products that could be used for kids, but could also be used for the elder generation. So the ones with the diabetes or other products that was being able to offer with other ailments or health conditions. But then it literally just came across the whole new market was the sports nutrition, because no longer can your average fitness enthusiast now have their kind of fish and a rice cake.
Yeah.
They can now enjoy their chicken with a really nice sweet chili sauce, or a really nice southwest, or a sweet and sour, or a barbecue. So we came across the whole fitness market as well. Not that we set out to literally go for that market. It was more of a case of a product that could be used across, like I say, the younger generation, the elder generation, and everyone who really just wants to be able to remove that big brand ketchup from the table without having 30 grams of sugar. And then we launched with this, like I say, the 6 products. In the sauces now we're up to 25.
Yeah,
syrups are up to 44. But within our whole kind of category, leapfrogging from the sauces and the syrups, the first product we wanted to do was the chocolate spread, because in our health, the biggest obviously brand on the market, which everyone knows about, what they probably don't realize is 60% of that chocolate spread is sugar.
Oh yeah.
So we go through pancakes every Saturday morning. It has salted caramel syrup on it, as chocolate spread, and we just didn't want to have 60% of sugar going into the diet just in that one meal. So we launched with chocolate spreads. Then off the back of the chocolate spreads, we then went into the snacks. So we've got like our crispy snacks. So they're a high protein, low sugar crispy snack. Then we to grow the portfolio even further, we've gone into our skinny jams. So a bit like your market leaders, similar to the chocolate spreads, a lot of those are around 50 to 60% sugar. So ours sit down at 4%. So in an average size 20 gram serving, you're literally going to get 7 calories and less than 0.1 gram of sugar. So we're now putting the healthy options back on the menu.
Yeah, I like the I actually thought that it was a fitness kind of health diet promoted brand. I don't know. I'm trapped in that sports nutrition world where you think everything's kind of for your market, but it seems you've kind of gone the other, like a more mainstream approach, and we've just fallen into your realm.
Yeah, I originally designed the brand so it specifically would look quite American. So then once we launched it, within 4 months of being founded, we had six buying meetings with Walmart over in the US.
Oh,
so
wow.
we flew out there, we met with those. We was literally in America for literally 4 days, and 2 days were just solid meetings about the brand. But they also thought we was a lot bigger than we were, because it was just still me and James running out of the garages and the third bedroom, so to speak, back in the day.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, the conversation is still going on now. I mean, it will probably take up to about another 6 months to get listings in there, because it is a long process. But yeah,
Wow,
it was
that's
originally
huge.
designed for mass market, but with lots of other kind of market sectors who could benefit from that. So whether it would be a noodle or a chocolate spread or a jam or a cooking spray or the new product working on meals. So yeah.
I've always liked the functional fitness approach, just because for me, I've always been amazed by an energy drink. You know, you drink an energy drink, it's just a drink, and then you feel energized. For me, it's like as close as you get to magic kind of thing. And then you have like Coke Zero, it's like no sugar, no calories. Then you have regular Coke. It's still liquid. You still drink it. It still tastes like very similar, but it's always blown my mind. And I think I've always enjoyed the mainstream approach with these functional foods and snacks, but I've always felt they lack that. Not lack, they just don't get the treatment that, you know, you don't get a 0 calorie noodle put next to regular noodles. You don't get a protein low sugar chip put next to regular chips. They all get thrown into the health aisle. And same with the ice cream. Even the healthy ice cream gets grouped into its own little shelf in the chiller and stuff. It's so yeah, I think you guys have just created this range that, to be honest, covers every single food. And now it actually makes a lot more sense now that you're telling me that you just basically wanted to come up with alternatives for every single mainstream food. It makes a lot, because it kind of felt like you were just sort of, this is a cool idea. This is a cool idea. It actually, when you think about it, you just go through the pantry, you're slowly knocking out every little thing that you would typically have in there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because you did that with the noodles or the pasta. Was that earlier this year, I think?
Yeah, we launched those in June. A bit like everything, we kind of underestimate the popularity of the product. So we literally launched with, I think we had 7 pallets. So we had about 11,000 units. So we thought, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll last us, 2 or 3 months. They literally sold out in like 24 hours.
Wow.
So now we're into the container world. So, but it is fantastic. I mean, we came across, I think, an additional 500 that the supplier had we put them on the side. I was like, should we offer these out to the wholesalers and the trade? He said, we probably shouldn't really, because the success of the launch, and good job we did, because we put them on site and they literally got snapped up in about 2 hours. So
Wow.
Such a popular product. I mean, just off that one alone, we're already working on around another 7 or 8 different SKUs. So we're working on the rice, we're working on the pasta, we're working on pasta sheets. Yeah, there's so much that you can, once you open the portfolio of products, that it can just go on, which is it's quite restrictive, because myself and James are just so creative, and we just want literally a bit of everything, to be fair. But you have got to be a little more kind of, I mean, we're already on our 5th warehouse and we're at 92% capacity. So,
oh my gosh,
it's
insane. I still have trouble believe. I still can't believe you're only 2 years old. I honestly, when I stumbled across you, and I started sharing the news on the site, I had because I have a lot of UK brands and friends that I'm familiar with: Grenade, Nova Nutrition, Applied Nutrition, the guys at Battle Snacks. I'm very familiar with a lot of them. And they always said to me, says, do you know much about them? And I said, they seem giant, right? They just seem big. And they were like, they're not that big. And I was like, I don't know, but they just have that appeal and that like feel that you can kind of just trust them, and everything is just, it was all there. And this year, again, as I said earlier, you have been pretty explosive, I would say, in terms of like new product development. I felt that you were putting out a lot more this year than you were last year, even though I wasn't following you for the entire year. Despite all the shit that's gone down.
There's literally, I suppose that's the kind of the skill set that myself and James have. I mean, by trade, I'm a graphic designer, and I look after brands. So being able to design a product and also source the product, and then when we pass it on to James and then he markets it, that skill set that we have, and the fact that we just literally work pretty much 24/7, it helps us grow really, really quick. I mean, in the early days, it was obviously myself doing design and branding, James doing the marketing, but then outside of that, even for the first probably 6 months, I was doing all the order fulfillment, James was doing all the customer support. Between us, we was doing the advertising. So we do carry a lot of skill sets. So even to this day, we're only a team of 25, but everything is so streamlined. That we get on so rapidly, so quickly, and to be able to bring a product to market in less than like 4 weeks.
That is one thing I've noticed, like specific to you guys, is I'm used to sports nutrition, and sports nutrition companies attempting functional foods, and they always have that it's just 12 weeks. It's 12 weeks, and they'll say 8 to. That's the standard. It might say 8 to 12, but they only say 8 to get you hopeful. It's almost always 12 or more. But when Skinny Food teases a product or says it's coming, it's literally here in 2 weeks. And it's always refreshing to kind of see how fast people can move with the new products. And like I said, you've done, I think, a phenomenal job this year with the flavors and the new products and expansions. The other one I want to dive into was the new brand, Fakeaway, which I thought was just, I don't know, it kind of makes sense now that you have like a graphic background and stuff like that. It kind of makes sense. What made you want to do that one? It just felt like a very, I don't know, you were doing so much with Skinny Food Co. I was surprised and impressed at the same time. What was the inspiration behind the?
Okay, yeah. So Fakeaway, I mean, we probably about the same again. Around 2 years ago, we applied for the trademarks behind it, because the word Fakeaway it's been used kind of around for the last kind of 3 or 4 years, maybe a little bit longer, but no one's actually trademarked it. And there's a lot of kind of a lot of growth and success to be had from the word Fakeaway. So what we wanted to do, it's very, very close to the Skinny Food Co, but where our products within the sauce and syrups, probably a high percentage of those is a water-based product. So ideally, it's not suitable for cooking. But what we wanted to do is bring out a range of sauces which were still 0 sugar, if not low sugar, and also low calorie, but you could actually cook with. So it's more of a cooking sauce. So throughout the week, you can enjoy your, like you say, your pancakes with your golden syrup or your white chocolate. But then at the weekend, if you really wanted a Chinese dish or a Mexican dish or a Portuguese dish or a Jamaican, you can then come to the Fakeaway. You can still pick up your products which will have 0 allergens in there, but it'll also have the low sugars, the no added sugars, the lower calories, but will still give you that really nice Chinese or Indian or Mexican dish with the flavors without the high calories of, say, a Sharwood's, for example.
Yeah, I was when I saw the brand and I saw the kind of promotion, I thought it was just sort of like a cool marketing idea that you just wanted to put out there, which again, it was genius. I like the sort of fake away, take away link to it, everything and all the different foods. It popped with me, but I was curious why you just didn't do them for the Skinny Food Co. But now I guess kind of that makes sense. It's a little more approach. The Skinny Food Co. has that sort of homey, like I said, pantry feel, whereas this, again, kind of has the takeaway approach to the more familiar takeaway foods, which is interesting. I would never have picked up on that, but because you did the pizza bases as well.
Yeah, yes, we've got the pizza bases, and then we are also working on our actually ready meals. So in January, we're launching with 6 ready meals. So same again, going to be kind of foods from around the world. So we're going to have like our Indian chicken tikka, we're going to have our Mexican beef and chili, our Thai green curry, our Portuguese peri peri, Chinese sweet and sour. So as you can see, there's a theme going on here. So it's enjoying those foods from around the world, but without the added nasty sugars and high calories, really.
Oh, nice. And are those sort of like, like all-in-one tray meals, like heat and eat, or is it?
All right, so there'll be like a pouch. So it'll be a microwavable pouch if you want it warm.
Ah, like the
I think
performance meals.
Yeah, performance meals. So I think a bit like those meals. For us, it was also really important to keep the meals under 200 calories, and also to be able to offer it out at a really competitive price. Because there are some products out there that are a little bit too high for us, but we like to bring a more competitive price to market.
Oh wow! So they'll be under 200 calories.
Yeah, under 200 calories and less than 5 grams of sugar. But also, a good friend of mine is a master chef, so he's prepared all the dishes. So they're all they're like a kitchen meal, but designed for home eating. So you're going to have really nice flavors coming through.
Yeah, I know. I've tried the performance meals, the pouches. I thought it was, again, magic to me. It was just amazing that those things are shelf stable without like somehow not required to be frozen or whatever.
It's phenomenal. I mean, when we did all the development, it's crazy to think you could have a Thai green curry sat in your car boot for 12 months, literally tear the top off and then eat it before it goes out of date.
I remember talking to them and I was like, wait, so like, you need to heat it? He said, no, you can tear it open. You can just eat it straight. I was like, but there's meat in there. And he just, and I remember them explaining to me that it's all in the process. And I was like, you know what? Yes. That's all I need to hear.
It's phenomenal. I mean, they've done a good job. And we wanted to bring more of a kind of, like I say, a world kind of fake way feel to it. So you can still have your, like I say, your Mexican.
Are good too. It's impressive under 200 because I think the regular one's like 300 around there.
Yeah, about 300 to 400.
Yeah, I mentioned it to him. I said you should try and do like a half-size one, which is kind of pretty much what you guys are doing anyway.
It's still a good size, still 300 gram serving. So the idea will be as well to bring in, so we can bring in the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So then, if you are struggling to get your foods, or if you want additional calories, you can bring these in as well. But it's just a really good way of getting extra protein into your diet and a really good meal, which beats, for example, like an average kind of sandwich or a takeaway meal.
Well, it beats meal prep as well. But I just remember meal prep. The only downside is you have to eat it within whatever time frame. And I like being organized as much as the next guy, but I would prefer it if I wasn't forced to eat it because I was going to be wasting money otherwise. Whereas by these ones, you just throw them in the pantry, and so that's coming under the Fakeaway brand.
Yeah, that'll be under the Fakeaway brand.
Oh wow! So was there a reason you didn't do it under the Skinny Food Co, or was it just?
We went down the Fakeaway one for that as well, because although over the last 2 years there's been a lot of education going around the word skinny, and ultimately it was never about let's make the customer to be more skinny. It's more about giving you a skinnier option. So it's cutting out those calories, or cutting out those sugars, or cutting out those fats, or being zero palm oil in our chocolate spread. So it's a skinnier option. It's not about making the end user skinny. So there are big supermarkets who are coming around to the connotation of the word skinny, which it's just a matter of time. So it was just a quicker win to get the Fakeaway brand into a larger chain supermarket over the word skinny. Although we have managed to get the Skinny Food Co sauces into Morrison's and into Spar and into Co-op and Holland & Barrett's, with some of the bigger chains, there is still a learning and education piece to go on. So, but I mean, when we have the meetings with them, it still doesn't stop them putting in their Skinny Cow ice cream or their Skinny Starbucks coffee, because obviously they're bigger brands. But us still being kind of new kids on the block, it was just a less of a hurdle for us to get the Fakeaway brand.
Yeah, I think that it's. I mean, to be honest, I never really thought of it as in kind of get skinny, but then you have the issue of brands coming before you that did use skinny in that sense, and it's a bit of a mixed bag. With a lot of the products you've done, obviously, so there's a good focus on nutrition, balanced nutrition, and protein. Was there ever thought about doing like a protein powder? Like I've always seen a lot of functional brands dip their toes in that market, where they tend to go to protein bar, protein shake, and protein powder. And obviously it's a sports nutrition side, which as I now know isn't your clear focus. Was there ever a thought or an idea of going there, or is it just sort of stick to the, like you said, the pantry food alternatives?
This year, literally in November, we are launching, which has been in NPD. This will be the longest, to be fair, because it's taken so long in order to get this bar. So we are launching our Skinny Low Sugar Protein Bar. Which
is that the 99 calorie thing?
Yeah, so
I remember that being previewed, and then it just never saw it again. And I was like,
sadly, because it's such a difficult product to get. Because what we try to do as well, like we always want at least 90% of our products to come from the UK. So it's been such a long-winded research and development, but now we're really proud of the product. So it's going to be coming out in November. We've got 3 bars. So there's a cookies and cream, there's a chocolate fudge, and then ultimately there's a salted caramel, because salted caramel, I mean, you could cover salted caramel in Marmite and people still love it because salted caramel is just fantastic. So what we wanted to do with that, we wanted a bar that could kind of go toe to toe with a lot of the big brands, but ultimately to give a price point of like a £2 price point, RRP, because the market is absolutely saturated with bars. There are some fantastic bars out there which we actually sell on the Skinny Food Co. But we always wanted a bar which could be under 100 calories, which you could portion control. So ours is a duo bar, so it'll be a 200 calorie bar, but you've got the option of eating 1 or 2. It's going to be less than half a gram of sugar for the whole bar. We couldn't get it to 0 sugar because it just didn't taste good. We have got 0.5 grams of sugar, but it's also vegan. So all ours is all vegan. So it's phenomenal. When you try it, we wanted a bar that could also be like a Mars / Snickers / picnic bar, but it's got protein in there and it's a high protein bar, but you haven't got the nasty kind of the chewiness of it, I still feel a high percentage of bars are still really, really demanding on those teeth.
It's when I have what I call the mum test or the grandma test. I sort of, me and my wife would be like, oh my God, this protein bar is amazing. Oh my God, it's so smooth and you can bite into it. And then I give it to my mum and she said, this is like a fucking rock. And it's like, to me, it's the ultimate test because it takes me out of, because I'm just eating protein bars all day. I don't eat Kit Kats often, right? So I always give it to someone, from the real world that's like, no, this is still very different and still not a candy bar type thing. I remember seeing the Skinny bar and I saw that it was 99 calories. And that was my first thought. I was like, there is no way this is a full length bar with 99 calories, because if it is, it's amazing. So I suspected it was like a per serving thing. But because you guys previewed that, I think it was in August, early August, if I remember.
Yeah, August,
Yeah, the 3 flavors. I was just curious as hell about that because, again, functional foods is one of the I guess the fastest categories we've seen, even compared to sports nutrition. And to see someone, like I said, such as yourself, who's more mainstream rather than dedicated sports nutrition, I was just curious to see how that thing was going to turn out because I knew it wasn't going to taste bad. But the 99 calories had me worried.
If we could get a 60-gram bar with 99 calories, that would be phenomenal. And literally, we probably wouldn't have supply, but no, it's still within that. It's still 200 calories, so it's still
that's
low.
very reasonable. Yeah.
But for the price, the idea was to get a really good tasting bar, bang on price, that has the benefits of the high protein, the low sugar, but also is vegan, which, that's why it's taken so long to get it.
I'm assuming the protein's like around 10 or something?
12 grams.
12 grams. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have my hopes up there.
Yeah, we're not as high as the
Oh, no. I always, I always say this to a lot of people, is like the closer you get to 20, the more guaranteed it's not going to taste that great. Like, I mean, it'll taste good, but it'll just be thick as hell. And that's just generally even with some of the best bars, like they just push the thickness and density. You can't avoid it. But yeah, so you're saying that's coming in November. I'm assuming that means you're just going to steer clear of the traditional supplement realm, like the protein powders and all that stuff.
Yeah, we still get asked during lockdown and obviously what's been going on with the world. And because we have got such a huge kind of platform, I mean, we've got database now, we're probably just short of 1 million customers. And we've got around 500,000 social media followers. So we've got a really good platform. So what we did, we offered out to bring third-party brands onto our website.
I noticed that earlier in the year. I saw one brand being added and I was like, oh, this doesn't look like the Skinny Food branding. And then I kind of realized what you were doing.
Yeah, it was a mixed bag really, to help out other brands who have been in our position, but also bring on some of the bigger brands in order to, because we know that everyone buys grenade bars and we know that everyone loves grenade bars. But when they go on our website and buy it, but then it's given us that staple to say, you know what, we are a hair brand. We're not just a flash in the pan. We're not just going to be here and gone tomorrow. We want to be respected in the world in the sports nutrition field. So by stocking the likes of the Grenade or the O-Teams or the Lenny and Larry's, they then come onto our product. But then obviously we then give them a free sample of our tomato ketchup, for example, in order. And then when they try that, it's just all about building relationships, to be fair, with the end user. And it's working super well. And we then knew that the level of protein we're actually selling through the website, whether it be in a bar or a shake or a crisp, we know that now health and sports nutrition market is a huge percentage for the brand. So it's just a really nice thing to be able to launch a bar that we have been working on for 2 years, to be able to say, you know what, yes, we aren't a 20 gram protein bar, but you know what, you can have 3 or 4 of these a day. You can actually dip it in your cup of tea and it's actually going to probably fall apart on you. It's not going to be like a hobnob biscuit that's literally you're going to have to get a hammer and nail to.
I think my top rated bar of all of them was the Barbells one from Sweden.
Yeah. It's a good bar, yeah.
The ESN, I don't know if you've heard of ESN, it's a German brand. They started getting into functional quite recently, and they came out with a bar which I believe is 14 grams. Okay. And that thing is dynamite. But again, lower protein, and I don't really mind promoting a bar that's 14 grams when it actually tastes a lot more candy bar like than others. Is there a reason? And this is a question I get a lot, because whenever I go to the US, people say, "What's your favorite bar? What's your favorite functional?" I sort of say Europe's the place to go, right? Like it's I don't know what it is, but no one in the US or any really other market seems to want to push or drive or innovate or get creative in that space. But in Europe, in the UK, you guys it's just second nature, right? It's just, you're not going to do, like you said, you got 44 different flavors of syrups and 20 something of sauces. And you very rarely get 0 calorie sauces in the US. Like it's not a common product that you'll come across. They're there, but you definitely don't see that many flavors. You definitely don't see the flavor drops, the various things you've expanded into. What do you think it is that is in Europe that just makes you guys want to push the boundaries in that area?
I suppose we have got a really huge kind of portfolio of suppliers and manufacturers within the UK who can offer these fantastic new and exciting kind of R&D type of facilities, where we have anything from, like I say, a protein bar all the way through to a coffee syrup to a noodle. I think it's just because we have got a huge offering of these suppliers. And over my kind of 20 years within the sports nutrition market, I've obviously built these contacts up, and it was a case of when we launched the food co that, you know what, let's just use all these contacts that we have built up in order to be able to bring these fantastic markets alive with these new products. And I probably believe it is, yeah. I mean, I've always been a big believer, if I can design something that makes and looks attractive on the shelf, and then source a product that actually tastes phenomenal inside, all you need to do then is market it. And then once you've got your customer, I mean, our repeat purchase for our website is around 45% repeat. So we're obviously doing something right in the fact that we have got a great tasting product. We are still a small team, so we do still have lots of kind of hurdles to jump over. So whether it be through couriers or supply chain, there are some hurdles there. But I mean, for what we've achieved, I mean, 164 new products in 2 years is phenomenal. I mean, I'm looking at my NPD pipeline now. I've got 30 to release before Christmas, and then I've got another 60 in the new year.
I can believe that.
I mean, they will get to a stage where we'll cap out, and I mean, someone said the other day, what is your goal? To literally have a Skinny Food Co shop where you can literally just go in and literally buy everything.
You do have that now, don't you?
We do, yeah. we could have our own Skinny Food Co shop, and you could have, you could have your vegan section, you could have your keto section, you could have your high protein, you could have your sports
That's what
nutrition.
I was kind of envisioning when I saw that you like had a shop. I remember I saw a video, and before I clicked the video, I was like, that looks like a pretty sweet shop front. And then the video was about you guys and your shop, and I was like, holy shit, it's genius.
It was literally just, I mean, we're on a retail park, and sorry, we're not on a retail park, we're on a business park. So, I mean, we've got deliveries all day, every day. And it's not the greatest place, but it's a case of we have the empty space. Let's put a shop in there, which you can use for people who can come along, try the products, and we'll just get a bit of PR out of it. And
I mean, I thought it was amazing.
It's phenomenal. I mean, considering it's not massive. We get, 20 or 30 customers a day, but these customers are driving up to 2 hours just to get to us, which is phenomenal, which it just goes to show. I mean, if it ever did lease on the high street, then yeah, it would be, it'd be interesting, put it that way. We'd definitely have to do some pop-up shops, which we was going to do this year, a bit like what Gymshark did with their pop-up shops, which is phenomenal. If we did that, which we had planned for this year, we brought on an events coordinator and everything, and then literally a month later,
shit happened.
We got struck down, and everything kind of changed around. He then went into the warehouse. He then wanted to buy in, and then we're a very small, flexible team. So it
kind of reminds me. I don't know if you've ever heard about Halo Top when they did their scoop shops. They did a little. I visited one in. They were exclusively in LA. I think there were 3 of them at their peak. They introduced them. They were like basically them serving their ice cream in cones, ice cream sandwiches. It was crazy when I heard the idea, and then I went to the opening of their one. I can't even remember the name of the mall, but I went there opening day thinking to the ice cream shop, what's the worst that could happen? And I get there, and I'm like, I got there like they opened at midday. I got there maybe 2, and it was just what you thought was a crowd was just a swirling line of people, and there was no way. I mean, my friend that took me there was like, dude, this is nuts. This is not normal, even for this mall. And it's like, and all these people were lining up, and you had influencers who were just carrying around their cameras, kind of videoing their experience and stuff like that. And it was, like you're saying, it's like it's a destination. If you create it, like the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they'll come.
Absolutely.
And I think you guys have that. So, I mean, it's been great having you on. It's been awesome getting to know the brand, 1,000 things that I didn't actually know before. But I'll definitely keep an eye out for the bars, and hopefully have you back on here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure. And have me on again, and we'll get you some spars sent out.
Awesome. Thank you.